So it looks like Xbox might actually be doing something people have been asking since the early 2000s. Getting rid of multiplayer paywall. So according to reports, the next gen Xbox might not require any sort of subscription just to play online games anymore. If that's true, it's a massive shift for Microsoft, considering they've been charging for Xbox Live since 2002. Let's think about how long that's been going on. 2 decades of paying just to access online features that are free pretty much everywhere else. You can hop on Steam, PlayStation free to play titles, or even mobile, and you never have to pay to play with friends. But on Xbox, you always have to buy into Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass just to connect. So if this new system finally breaks that wall down, it's a long overdue change, and honestly one that should have happened years ago. The report says Microsoft planning for the next Xbox to be hybrid between a traditional console and a Windows PC. Basically, it can run full PC style interface if you want, giving players access to things like Steam and Battle.net right on the console. And if that's the direction they're going, it actually makes sense why they dropped the paywall, because let's be real, why would anyone pay for multiplayer on Xbox if they could just boot up PC interface and play the same game for free? This could be one of those quiet but game-changing moments for Xbox. Removing the paywall means they're not chasing subscription fees anymore, they're chasing engagement. Microsoft's trying to build an ecosystem that keeps you in their world, whether you're using Xbox, PC, or even a handheld. And honestly, it feels like they're admitting what players have known for years: the console war just doesn't really matter anymore. Sarah Bond, who's running Xbox now, said recently that the next system's going to be very premium, very high-end curated experience. And the word in there says a lot. It's not about competing with Sony in the old school hardware sense. It's about creating one connected environment where everything syncs up. They're not fighting for your console purchase anymore. They're fighting for your time, attention, and your Game Pass subscription. But you can see how all this connects to how Xbox is slowly letting go of exclusivity. The same reports mentioned that Halo Campaign Evolved, the new one, is going to be the first Halo game to show up on PlayStation. That's something nobody would have believed a few years ago. Halo was the Xbox franchise, the face of the brand. So if they're comfortable putting that on PlayStation, it tells you everything about where the priorities are headed. And Microsoft's vision for Xbox feels less like a console generation and more like a subscription ecosystem you can use anywhere. That's why removing a paywall fits perfectly. It's one less barrier to entry. You don't have to think twice about where you play, as long as you're still part of their ecosystem somehow. And honestly, if they pull this off right, it could force Sony and Nintendo to rethink their entire strategy. If Xbox Online goes completely free next gen, Sony's going to look outdated charging $80 a year just for access. People will start asking questions like, why am I still paying for PlayStation Plus when Xbox doesn't charge me at all? Like, it's a really great move, not aggressive, but it's smart. Now, of course, Microsoft's still experimenting with the different business models. There's still talk of them testing a free Xbox Cloud gaming plan with ads, where do you watch a short video before playing? That's a little questionable, but again, it shows they're trying to give people options instead of locking everything behind a paywall. You can tell they're in this mindset now of access first and profit later, but then there's the other side of this too. And this is where people start getting a little bit nervous. If Xbox removes paywalls, share its biggest exclusives, and blends console with PC, what's the point of Xbox console at all? That's the question hardcore fans are asking, because when you open your ecosystem that wide, you start to lose what you made distinct in the first place. If PlayStation players can play Halo and PC users get every Xbox feature for free, why would anyone choose a hardware over just subscribing to Game Pass? That's the trade-off Microsoft's making right now. They're not competing to sell consoles anymore. They're competing to dominate gaming as a platform. They want Xbox to mean the same thing as Netflix means for movies. Doesn't matter what device you're using, as long as you're using their service. And that's a smart long-term move, but it's also a risky one if it leaves the brand without a real identity. Either way, you can't deny this is huge for gaming. You got no paywall, cross-platform expansion, PC integration. It's the biggest change Xbox has made in years. The company that once built its empire on exclusives and subscription services is finally realizing that freedom and accessibility might be the future. And honestly, if that means we can all jump online without worrying about another yearly fee, I'm all for it. But drop your thoughts below. Do you think Xbox dropping that paywall and opening the platform is the right move? Or are they slowly phasing out the idea of a console brand altogether? Let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Memories. I'll catch you boys next time. Peace.